I'm Chris, this is Cars with Chung, and this is the 2025 M5 Touring. All right, so taking a look at the front end of this thing, you get a huge hood over here and a pretty bulbous looking front end. That's because under here is a twin turbo V8 engine along with an electric motor there, thus giving you 717 horsepower, but more on that in a little bit. I like the hood, the molding and the design in it looks pretty good. You have the executive package in this one, and so that has the illuminated grille over here that you can see surrounding that dual kidneys over there. You have, of course, some nice LED headlights over there that BMW is known to have. And then you have a lot of ventilation. So you have vents there, and then you also have vents there. You have to kind of watch out because there's actually no guards here, so all these rocks can come in here and hit your radiator. But these also cool your ceramic M brakes. Anyways, so why don't we take a look along the side of this thing and go from there. All right, so taking a look along the side of this thing, as you can see, it's obviously a wagon, this being the M5 Touring. And after a little bit of a hiatus, BMW has brought this thing back. But as you can see, you have a pretty long silhouette here. We'll go along the side. And so you have these 21-inch wheels and these M ceramic brakes down here. This is special edition for the M5, and in person, they look pretty good. Online, it didn't look that good, but in person, I actually like the way these look quite a bit. You have hand-cooked Ventus tires there. Your mirror with integrated turn signal, and your camera in there, and these also fold automatically. You have touchless entry, so you could just open this door here, and you can touch that and lock it as well. Some nice black trim surrounding this, and we'll take a look inside, but the roof, I mean, it's black here, so it kind of offsets the color of the car, but there's actually a pretty large sunroof in there, or not sunroof, but a skylight, or so they're calling. To fuel up, your fuel cap's on this side, and your charge port is on that side, since this is a plug-in hybrid. To open this, you actually hit inside on the dashboard and unlock this, and then you can tap that and open it. It's not opened right now, so that won't happen. Overall, I think the side looks pretty good, so why don't we take a look at the rear end and see what that looks like. All right, so taking a look at the rear end, I like the rear end a bit. It kind of looks like an X5, just scrunched down. I like it more than the front end, personally, but just taking a look at what you have going on here, you have the spoiler back here, pretty big window there, as well as these LED lights here, and I think those look pretty good. You have this rear diffuser down here with your your backup light tucked in there, and I like when manufacturers do that. You have 4 huge tailpipes down there too, and they get quite loud, but also when you're not in sport or the M modes, it can be decently quiet as well. You can get into the trunk with your key, and so this has BMW's new key style there that all of the BMWs have, or like most, tapping down there. And that'll open to a pretty large usable space back here, being that it is the wagon version. I forget the exact cubic feet of storage back here, but there's a lot of space, and I'll annotate the video with that. There's also a little area down below here, but where you have your fix-a-flat kit, being that there's no spare tire in here, and then a couple pockets on the left and right. You can fold this down as well by pulling these, and that'll fold flat, and that softly opens, and so that's nice. And then there's a ton of space to use back there, as well as there is this shade that's kind of neat, because when you close this, and then when you open this again, that'll actually automatically retract a little bit, so you can just reach in and grab your stuff. So that's a little bit of a fancy gig out there. But yeah, that's about it for the rear end and the trunk. Why don't we go take a look at the interior. You step into the interior of the M5 Touring. There is a really beautiful interior here. Love the two-tone leather that they have going on. This feels really good and supportive as well. You have a Bowers and Wilkins stereo system, and that Sounds pretty good. We'll listen to that a little bit on our drive. A couple shades on both sides on both of these things, as well as mentioned, this huge skylight over here and a nice Alcantara roof. On top of that, these seats in front of us in the back have kind of a racing seat aesthetic to it, but they haven't forgot that you need chargers, so you can flip that down, and there's a little USB-C charging port back there, as well as this little area to put a bag holder and of course an M emblem up there. Down below here, there's actually dual climate control for your rear passengers, as well as heated seats for both sides. A couple USB-C ports, and your vents are down here too. Of course, got to check the cup holders and the armrests, and this is at a pretty good height. It's not too high and it's not too low. Outside of that, there's nothing really too much to this armrest over here, and just a couple cup holders in there. And so yeah, why don't we take a look at the front and we'll go from there. So stepping into the front seat of the M5, you have these beautiful seats over here, and these keep you in place pretty well. There's also an illuminated M5 emblem on the back of them. Taking a look around the dashboard, you have some really nice materials around here. You have this huge screen in the center, and that extends all the way across. Well, really it's two screens, one over here, one on the left as well. And we'll dive into that here in a second. You have this material down below, and this looks really clean because BMW actually hid the vents in this thing, and so you can turn them off or on by hitting those buttons there, and then you can adjust the angle with these down here. Kind of an interesting, I mean, it cleans up the dashboard a bit. It's kind of an interesting design. Yeah, I have no qualms about it, but I also think regular vents do the trick just fine. Anyways, with this material that goes across the dashboard, you can change the color of this, and we'll dive into that in the menu, as well as you have memory seats for both your driver and passengers. Your lock and unlock buttons are over there, as well as you have a few controls on the left of your driver's seat. When it comes to adjusting your seats, you can hit this button, and there's a ton of different options that you can do here. You can adjust how much the seat squeezes you, you can adjust the lumbar support, so on and so forth. The headrest, you can move this up or down with that controller there. And so there's a ton of customizations that you can do for the seats. Steering wheel is pretty nice. This feels really good, and I like the design that they've gone with on the M5 steering wheel. You have your cruise control on the left. On the right is your volume and your BMW assistant controls. You have a couple paddle shifters in the back, and as well as a boost button over here on the left paddle shifter. And so if you hit that, that actually cranks up the boost a little bit and makes it go a little bit faster. And so yeah, anyways, continuing on over here, we'll take a look at this screen in the middle. This is pretty big, and you can basically control everything through here. You got your Android Auto and your Apple CarPlay, of course, but you also can set up your various M1 or M2 configurations in here, with everything from your drivetrain to your X drive and your M sound and so on and so forth. You can go in here, phone, your personal assistant, drivetrain, so on and so forth. So a lot of different things that you can do in here. This moves pretty smoothly, but if you don't want to get fingerprint marks on that or something like that, you can use this wheel that BMW is known for. On the left, the screen adjusts a little bit as well. There's some customizations there, as well as a nice heads-up display that you probably can't see on that camera, but hopefully later on you can see that. But yeah, all of that looks pretty good. There is a lot of options in there, and it does take a little bit of getting used to, and I think I haven't even looked around through all of the things that you can do in there, but pretty cool. Down below here is a wireless charger for you on the driver's side, and the spot to hold your phone on the passenger side. Illuminated cup holders down here with this piano black that surrounds things a little bit, as well as your start-stop button and your gear shift is over here on the left, and as mentioned, your controls for your display, your volume over there. You can hit this button, and this opens up this center console, and it's not that deep. There's a little bit of space in here, and there's no real USB-C chargers in there. So that's just a place to tuck some things. There's a couple USB-C chargers in the front though if you need those. And outside of that, up top, a couple reading lights, and there's actually this onboard selfie camera so you can record yourself while you drive. And so maybe we'll use that for the in-driving footage later. So that about wraps up a look at the front seats. Why don't we pop the hood and take a look at the motor and go from there. All right, so once you pop the hood, you can see that this motor basically fills up the entire engine bay. So what you have here is a twin turbo V8 motor that is paired with an electric motor as well, because BMW needed to make it a hybrid for EPA reasons. And so, yeah, but anyways, this motor is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it'll give you 717 horsepower and take you from 0 to 60 in about 3.2 seconds. In terms of fuel economy, when the electric motor is going with the gas motor, you get about 54 miles per gallon, and so that's pretty solid. When you're out of electric range, which you get about 25 miles of EV only driving range in this thing, then it gets about 13 miles per gallon. So again, not stellar fuel economy there, but most people are not buying an M5 for the great fuel economy. So why don't we close up this hood and take it for a ride and see how that goes. Now the M5 Touring is not a small car, and it doesn't completely hide its weight when you're driving it. This is, after all, a plug-in hybrid performance wagon with a V8 motor, an electric motor, battery pack, all-wheel drive, and a luxury interior. Physics still exists at the end of the day. But BMW has done an impressive job making it feel composed. Around town, the M5 Touring is smooth, quiet, and easy to live with. The hybrid system allows for short electric-only driving for about 25 miles. The cabin feels calm enough for everyday use. And in comfort mode, it's more of a luxury car than a track weapon. But switch it into the more aggressive drive modes and the personality quickly changes. The throttle sharpens, the exhaust wakes up, the suspension firms up, and the car just feels much more eager. It's not as light or razor sharp as an M3, but that's not really the point of the M5 Touring. What it delivers is a broader kind of performance. It's fast enough around the track, comfortable enough for your daily driving, and spacious enough for family life. That combination is what makes it special, as well as taking you from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. All right, so that about wraps up our review of the 2025 BMW M5 Touring. In short, I'd say this is a great car for, some yuppie that's maybe graduating from an M3. Maybe you have a couple kids, need a couple car seats in the back or something. But you want something that's an all-arounder car that's fun to drive. You can go to the track and still do a pretty large Costco run. And so in regards to the price tag on this thing comes in at $145,000 MSRP as optioned as this one is. I think it starts off at about $120,000, but I'll double check that. So obviously not a cheap price point there, but if you're looking at an M5, you're not really looking at the price point or the fuel economy. And so in regards to what the M5 Touring promises to deliver, which is great horsepower, great acceleration, that BMW M car feeling around the turns, a lot of cargo space, all-wheel drive, and the ability to drift when you want to, this thing delivers on all those things. So if you're in the market for something like that and something that's a little bit different than your normal SUV, crossover SUV that you see on the road, then give the M5 Touring a look. And so with that said, let us know in the comments what you thought. We appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you next time.